Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Awesome 80s podcast. This is Michael.
This is Lawrence. How are you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Awesome. I'm great. A rare Monday night recording.
Monday night recording. We're probably not going to put this out on Monday night, but we got to get it out to you people. I got other vacation, second vacation. It's
Well,
happening.
the people listening live and on YouTube's later, they'll hear it tonight.
All 15 of you, I hope you're here enjoying us. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So we got some stuff to go into, so let's just get started.
Go.
First, could you remind the folks we have nice T-shirts and they were selling pretty good, and then I realized we kind of haven't talked about them for a while. So do you want to let the people know how they can order the T-shirt that you're wearing right there?
Oh, you can go to our website. I think I lied before when I was like, oh, they're $12. They are $12, but they are plus $3 shipping and handling. So I'm a liar. I'm a liar and a podcast host. So it's $15. You can get any T-shirt color you want and any single color logo you want. So if you want like a black T-shirt with a white logo, you can do that. The original ones were like the Hulk Hogan colors with the red and the yellow print, but I prefer the blue with the yellow.
For the black with the white.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's the world is your oyster here at the Awesome 80s podcast, and we also have the stickers available. These don't cost money. I mean, they cost us money, but they are free. If you just send us your address, we'll send it to you in the mail. Hopefully, everybody has their stickers. We're caught up with stickers so far, and if you see me next week, Glenn, I'll give you your packet of stickers as well.
All right. Well, I'm hoping to see you, but
okay, good.
So. Also, people give us feedback from time to time. Hey, why don't you let us know what movies you guys are doing ahead of time? And that's something that we've said we're going to do more, and we haven't. So I just have a couple movies I know. I can't guarantee that the next movies we're going to do, but I know that we do plan on doing them in the near future. Our back to school movie, we have a very special guest. Bobby Joe will be coming back, so hopefully she's feeling up to snuff and ready to go, so we can't wait for her to come back. That's going to be the movie Heathers. In the coming weeks, our good friend Chris Vanderkay, noted author and co-host of the Awesome 80s podcast on one episode, he's going to come back and he's going to do Little Monsters, which is a little out of his comfort zone. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I think it's good because it's a horror movie, but it's also a fantastic 80s movie featuring Fred Savage.
Right, and Ben Savage.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And Daniel Stern, and many more.
Rick Dukeman.
So looking forward to him coming on. Now, like I said, these may not be our next ones. These are just things we know that we have in the pipe. I would like to do, we haven't talked about this, but I'd like to do My Bodyguard soon, which plays into the movie we did tonight. I have that one on DVD if anyone in the room wants to borrow it. Speaking of the room, MF Jones sitting here monitoring the ones and twos, the zeros and ones. MH, as we are once again in Studio MH, has graciously allowed us to literally burst through the door, set this up in a whirlwind time, and while he sits there and watches Detroit and Kansas City play baseball. Also want to give a shout out. A few weeks ago, I mentioned when I was down in the South that my son and I drank some Cheerwine soda. We actually helped become the sponsor for them, and I got an awesome feedback from listener PCF. Those are their initials, and PCF actually found Cheerwine locally, and I was able to surprise my son with a 4-pack of solid glass bottles at the Fresh Market. So that was very exciting. D Rose, I haven't heard from D Rose for a while. He's usually more on the website. I know he's a busy man, but I'm hoping D Rose is still listening. Every week we put this out, and within half hour of this being done, a link goes out to our subscribers, and every time Return to the 80s at Return to the 80s on the Twitter retweets or tweets the episode out to all of their people, and we can't thank them enough, and we haven't given them any love, and that's my fault. So thank you at Return to the 80s. Check them out. Check out their Twitter handle. Always posting awesome stuff, including us, which I really appreciate. And did you ever go on our Twitter?
In 2012, I did.
Okay, we received a tweet from at Paul Lynn, Linn 80s, and he sent us a music video he had made, and it was awesome. And I retweeted out, favorited everything you can possibly do on the Twitter to show that I love it. And I want to thank him for doing that. Please send more cool stuff our way. And anyone out there who's got the Twitter, please do so. If you have not liked us on the Twitter, that's also something I would like you to do. I started a campaign tonight on the Twitter that has to do with this movie and also a movie I just mentioned. So we can discuss that here as we get into the movie. But there is a campaign. I made a hashtag. I mean, I'm all up in it. The world of Twitter is my oyster, Michael. It's my oyster, and I'm leading the way. I really, I'm on the forefront of this.
I'm pretty soon you're going to be pretty soon you're going to be the king of the internet.
Well, that's always been kind of the plan. Right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So in this movie, there's an actor. A young actor. This was actually his first movie. His name is Chris Makepeace.
Okay.
He's done some stuff, but he also did My Bodyguard, which is one of my favorite movies as a child. I will find out soon if it holds up. But anyway, he has no presence out there. So I've asked our fans, our followers on Twitter, to help me find him. So the hashtag Finding Makepeace. If you can locate him anywhere on the interwebs or any contact we can have with him, I would appreciate it. So that is something I've been talking to a couple of guests that we hope once we get our situation sorted out technology-wise, that we can have a couple new guests on. We haven't done that for a while outside of our normal co-hosts. So we're looking forward to all that. So that's a lot of stuff I just need to get off my chest, and I feel so much better in doing so.
Okay, good. You got it out, which is important. That's good. I did want to on the Facebook page. I just posted another video from the vulture.com. It's how Howard the Duck gets a fake big budget reboot trailer. It's fun to watch because everyone's kind of online was speculating, especially in the Guardians of the Galaxy. They had a Howard the Duck in it, and they're like, well, they should make Howard the Duck. That's what they need to do. And the next Guardians of the Galaxy, they need to have Howard the Duck. But it's probably not going to happen. But this kind of feeds into people infatuation with Howard the Duck.
Yeah, and actually, Leah Thompson just did a Nerdist episode 2 weeks ago that was fantastic. If you haven't listened to it, please do. And I did live. There's one more thing I need to plug. Our buddies at the Drunken Zombie, I shared this on our Facebook page. They have on the 22nd of August, they're having a live podcast in, I believe, Mattoon, Illinois, and also WWE superstar R-Truth.
Okay.
K Quick in the past, if you want to relive the past, is going to be there, I believe, signing autographs and whatnot. But if you want to get information on that, it's linked on our Facebook page. But Drunken Zombie, and always big supporters of ours, as well as Doiner, Sub-Doiner, NCIS coming in a few weeks. So we just wanted to try to give back and support them. So if you are into that sort of thing, wrestling, zombies, horror movies, whatnot, please check that link out, and it will have all the information.
If you go to the Drunken Zombie website, Doiner is like the webmaster for all the wrestling stuff there. So
yes. So Meatballs, huh?
It's Meatballs. It's out there. Oh, I did want to say one other thing about Leah Thompson. She was at that fan fest here. Because they had one in Britain and they have another one for Back to the Future here in America. And she was talking, there was a question in the crowd. Somebody was like, well, what was it like doing like this incest angle with you and your brother or you and your son as Martin McFly, and you kiss him and he tastes like your brother. And she's like, I was in Howard the Duck and I had bestiality with the duck. She's like, that does.
She mentions Howard the Duck a few times in this as well. So
yeah.
In the Nerdist episode.
And she seems pretty cool.
Yeah, she seemed really down to earth. It was a great listen, so I do recommend that Nerdist episode. So let me ask you about Meatballs. When do you remember watching this movie for the first time?
2003.
Really? So
yeah.
you weren't down from the day one on this.
I saw it. I saw Meatballs 2 probably 30 times, Meatball 3 probably 30 times, and then Meatballs 4 featuring Corey Feldman probably at least 20 times. I'm like, ooh, Meatballs, it's got Corey in it. Like, especially watching this one, I'm like, so is there going to be an alien or not? When's the alien going to come? Because I think it was the second one that had the second or third one that had the alien. You're like, it's like a Mac and Me ET kind of alien, and you're like, How come there's no fucking alien?
So when you first watched this movie, 2003, were you a big fan of it?
I came to I realized it wasn't a good movie, but I could understand at the time period how people would go ape shit over this movie. How it was, people hadn't really seen Bill Murray in his own movie yet, and Dan Aykroyd had Dr. Detroit. So I mean, this was definitely a lot more fun than that kind of movie. It was kind of, I mean, people had fallen in love with him on SNL, so I could see how this could be marketable for him.
Okay, I watched it as a child. I have no recollection of my opinion of it or anything. I mean, I was pretty young. And we do know, by the way, this movie did come out in 1979. Whatever. Screw you. So if you don't like it, get your own podcast. So I don't remember it at all. I don't think I've seen this movie since my childhood. But what I did remember is that people always talk about this movie in such high regard. People lose their shit over this movie. I mean, not only lose their shit strong, but people always talk about what, oh, Meatballs, the classic, this and that. I watched it. I finished it maybe 40 minutes ago. And I will tell you that this movie's horrible. It's not horrible good.
Okay.
Just horrible. This is the first time Jake has ever walked away from an 80s movie that we've done for the show that I've made him watch. Usually I don't, because I thought, oh, this is going to be fun. Camp movie, Bill Murray. And at the end, he goes, Dad, I hate that movie. And all right. Well, but here's the thing is we didn't say we're the best movies of the 80s podcast. We're the awesome 80s and 70s in this case podcast. So we're not going to always pick the winners.
This has a lot of carryover. This has a lot of carryover into the 80s, much like Cannonball Run and Smokey and the Bandit.
Right. And as MF Jones pointed out on our way into the studio tonight, you know what? Hollywood's ahead of the curve. So 1979 Hollywood's like 1982 in Middle America.
Exactly.
So just like Canada's 10 years behind the curve always. So
they just got done with their 80s. So
yeah, exactly. So but in fairness, we should talk about it. We should talk about this movie because we are here to review it. And once again, we've reviewed a lot of shit movies, usually the ones you pick.
Thanks, Clay.
Usually the ones you pick. But let's get into it. Did
you like Who's That Girl? With Madonna, did you like?
I have to go back and listen to the episode. That was like 6 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 2010, I think.
One thing I enjoy is I have that Time Hop app there on the Facebooks.
Okay.
And it tells you. Are you familiar with this app?
Yes, I'm familiar.
Okay, so it tells you what you posted, on that day every year you've been on the Facebooks. I may have talked about this in a previous episode. I don't know, but I really enjoy seeing what podcast we did 6 years ago. And so that's been kind of a cool feature where, an unexpected feature where I'm sitting there plugging it on because it was our first year and our first few months. And I'm plugging it on the face space like, hey, everyone listening to my show. And it's like, oh my God, we did that one 6 years ago. So movie starts off. We got Bill Murray. He's in bed. It's, he grabs the PA. It's 33 degrees on this June 25th. He's doing his wake up show.
Bill Murray's the kind of dude that has multiple alarm clocks to wake up in the morning. He's that kind of dude.
That's you. You're that kind of dude.
I had a situation this morning where the only thing that wakes me up is the actual alarm at work. That is literally the only thing that wakes me up 100% of the time. And my phone, I've got too many apps on it, and it froze up. And my actual alarms on my phone, they didn't go off. So I'm like, people are coming into work. I'm like, what's going on? Why is everybody there's too much traffic in where I'm sleeping? What's going on? I'm like, oh, supposed to get up a half hour ago. Well, whatever, that's fine.
The other people in your work don't wake you up when you're.
The courtesy is just to turn that big light on. I'm like, oh, time to wake up. Okay.
All right. So how do I say? There's not a lot of substance to this movie.
I think it's one of those things you need to be all in with Bill Murray. If you want to go on this ride with Bill Murray, if you enjoy his sarcasm, his disrespect, for for authority for everything. Like if that's what you're all in, you need to be a Bill Murray fan, or you're not going to enjoy this movie at all.
This is Bill Murray light, whereas like Stripes is Bill Murray heavy. But let's talk. We'll talk around it. So let's get into some of the stuff in the movie. It's the best camp available in the price range. Camp North Star. Yeah. We go to the Kmart parking lot, which is that's where people get picked up for camp.
As far as the peak of comedy, it might have been when he got interviewed by the local news when he was pretending to be part of Camp Mohawk.
Right. So there's this other camp, Camp Mohawk. They're rich. They have butlers taking trays of food onto the camp bus and whatnot. And they're being interviewed. There's a TV guy there who wants to find out what kind of people will make parents pay $1,000 a week to go to camp. That's Camp Mohawk. As I put Mohawk, they're rich fucks. They also Camp Mohawk. They throw a milkshake on Spaz.
Yeah, and into the local Kmart.
By the way, we did find out a couple things here. I did skip ahead. There's lots of glass breaking in the opening sequence.
Yes.
So there's lots of glass breaking. There's hot chicks in bikinis. So immediately I'm like, okay, there's gonna be a TNA factor. Not really. Another disappointment.
At least like one nipple, like a nipple, something.
Bikinis are fine. Whatever.
Okay.
There's a song, like a happy camp song. Are you ready for summer? The camp director, he's got the when the hand goes up, the mouth goes shut shirt.
Yeah.
I just realized that I accidentally typed hose shut instead of goes, but that's
okay.
Fine. We find out Spaz is a sex machine. He likes to ruin nurses with his sexual prowess. At least that's what Bill Murray's telling everyone. Tripper.
He pulls in 6, and then 4 of them they can't even go to work the next day.
Yeah, we know later on that's not true. Anyway, as you were alluding to, Bill Murray acts like he works for Camp Mohawk. He says each kid gets to stalk and kill their own bear, which is a sensitive subject in 2015.
Yeah.
Kind of hitting on the touch points of today's social issues. We also the final week is Sexual Awareness Week, where they all get $2,000 and they have to bang as many hookers from different countries as possible. So that's good. I mean, I'd want that at Camp Mohawk. And then that's it. No follow-up. So I like the fact that that was a nice scene. It got me into it. I'm like, all right, great Bill Murray. But then it seemed like there was a lot of jokes where they just never played through. Like that could have. I think when you have a good camp movie or movies of this ilk, you have to play up the rival. These movies are based on having a rival, and this movie Mohawk was just there when convenient, and that's just I don't know.
Yeah, it felt like they didn't really have a good supporting cast back at the regular camp at Camp North Star, and if you're going to have a crappy supporting cast at Camp North Star, you need to have at least a arch enemy at Camp Mohawk that you're thinking about the rest of the time. Like if you've got one good bad guy and Bill Murray, that would have made up a lot of space. I mean, as far as yeah.
And I mean, also, and we're about to touch on what became the main storyline of the movie, which even wasn't originally supposed to be, but we'll get to that real quick. Camp movies you expect to be a little raunchy, maybe? Little 80s, late 70s, early 80s teen raunchiness. I don't need Porky's. I don't need all that. But, something a little lighter than that is fine. But there was almost none of that.
The fat guy talked about his boners a lot.
Right. There's a couple scenes. The first one that I was like, okay, we're on the right track because the girls are kind of sitting around. They're trying to figure out how do you get pregnant.
And to me, I was like, are they going to say anything about butt? Are they going to say anything about the butt? I'm just saying.
No butt, no mouth even. We find out the campers, they don't like Spaz. He's just kind of the nerdy dude.
Well, like the kids that get him as because it seems like every cabin gets a counselor and then a counselor in training. And they're like, oh, crap, we got Spaz as our counselor in training. I just keep throwing shit at him.
So if everyone every year is a counselor in training, except for Bill Murray, They all were coming back from previous years, but they were always in training still. Now, how many years you got to be trained to be a camp counselor?
Fucking kids, man. They don't listen. I don't.
So you want to guess how many Bill Murray movies we've done?
7.
6.
Okay, well that's good.
Let me see if I can go off the top of my head. Wait a minute. No, he wasn't in that movie. Sorry. We got this. We have Stripes, Caddyshack, Ghostbusters. It's 4. Missing 2. You got any ideas?
What? I'm Edward Kimberly.
Tootsie.
Tootsie.
Yeah. So almost every movie we've named was in the first 3 years of the 80s.
Yeah, well, he took 4 years off though.
He did. He took most of the decade off.
So Scrooge, we did Scrooged.
Oh, that's it. That's the last one.
Okay.
What we still have left to do is Quick Change, which I love Quick Change. I think you have Quick Change. I just don't know how that would translate into a pod. I don't know how good of a podcast. There's not a lot of meat to Quick Change. We'll still do it at some point.
Yeah. I also am a big fan of What About Bob as well.
Right. That was 92, but screw it. We can break the rules.
Yeah, that's fine. Have you seen any of the previews for Rock the Casbah?
Who's in that?
It's a new movie. It's coming out. It's got Bill Murray in it. It's got Bruce Willis, Kate Hudson, Zooey Deschanel. It's got Danny McBride in it. They've
love me some Danny McBride.
He plays he goes to the Middle East and he plays this music, promoter. I guess you should watch it. Rock the Casbah.
It's not out yet though, right?
No. It should be. I think it's one of those for your consideration ones they put on late December. Did you see the post that Mr. Rizzo put on?
I did. Mr. Rizzo, very active lately, which we always actually, not lately. We always appreciate Mr. Rizzo. So thank you very much. But I did see that post. Why don't you explain it to our listeners though?
So it seemed like that Bill Murray actually is going to appear in the next Ghostbusters movie at all. I wonder how Dan Aykroyd feels about that. But I mean, I assume it's just going to be a bit part, kind of like in Zombieland, where he's in it for 3 or 4 minutes. I know.
Right. Why do you think Dan Aykroyd would be mad?
Well, because he's been trying to ask him to be in.
Oh yeah.
Ghostbusters forever.
I get you. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And then Emma Stone was like, I wouldn't be in the movie if I knew Bill Murray was going to be in the movie. I guess she turned down the offer to be in the movie.
Well, that's her own damn fault.
That's her own damn fault. But I
want her in there anyway.
I'm still pretty excited about the actors in it. I'll give it a shot. And
I'm definitely gonna go see it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Real quick. So Quick Change, Ghostbusters 2, which we'll probably save until the new Ghostbusters comes out.
Okay.
And then if we ever do Little Shop, that one always comes up, but who knows? So anyway, that would complete our Bill Murray arc. Still nowhere close to the John Candy, Tom Hanks levels.
Okay.
Of the 80s.
If we do Splash, they're both in it, Tom Hanks and John Candy. So
yeah,
I mean, no, they're not going to gain ground on each other.
Well, no, I've done the math. Statistically, Tom Hanks can't win. John Candy will end up being king of our 80s.
Okay.
But so we're gonna meet. They mentioned Wet Dreams.
Yes.
So once again, Wendy, people get wet dreams over Wendy. So I'm like, all right. We're bordering on the raunch. Didn't get there, but then we meet Chris. We meet Rudy. Chris Makepeace. Bill Murray approaches him and he says, "I'm losing my quote here."
Real quick, he this and in My Bodyguard, he kind of plays the pussy.
Yeah. Bill Murray walks up and says, "Oh, so you must be the short, depressed kid."
The one we ordered. Right.
Yeah. So, are you familiar with My Bodyguard?
No, I've just seen the preview. I've never seen it.
Really? Okay. Well, good. That's one we should definitely do. My dad loved that movie, and he passed that love on to me. So, and I believe I'm blanking on her name now. Ruth Gordon? Yeah, Ruth Gordon. I believe she's in it from Harold and Maude fame, and several others. So, Chris Makepeace, Rudy. Rudy he just wants to be liked, but right away he realizes this is not for him. He has no friends, so he tries to take off on the Greyhound bus. Tripper, Bill Murray follows him. Talks him into coming back. And then at this point, the movie takes kind of like a weird buddy.
Yeah, I'm 30 years old. You're 12. We should be best friends.
Yeah. And you get it if they play up the fact that, like, so say you have a backstory like Bill Murray never wants to grow up and this and that, which you can infer from the fact that he's a camp counselor at his age and he's there every year. So you can infer that, but they don't there's no like life-changing, like if I'm writing a screenplay and I want to show that Rudy's also helping Tripper become more of an adult, like I'm gonna have incentives into that, not just, oh, your girlfriend's gonna move in with you at the end of the movie. Like, I don't know.
He's gonna like apply to grad school, or he's gonna apply to law school or something. Like he's gonna take the LSAT or whatever. He's gonna take those steps to make him become an adult.
Yeah, none of that here. So Rudy and Tripper bond. Rudy's family, they're not gonna come for Parents' Day. But that's okay, because Bill Murray's going to make a Pollock joke.
About a Pollock sucking on a tailpipe. What I wanted to talk about was, I won't go too far, but what he talked about, what I wanted to talk about was when he first walks into the diner, Bill Murray, he's wearing his Hawks jacket.
Yeah.
His Blackhawks jacket. And this brings me back to last week, where I didn't get to talk about one of my favorite scenes at the end of the movie with the jerk, with Steve Martin. And he was leaving. He's just like leaving his house. And he's like, I don't need any of this. I don't need you. I don't need any of this. But I need this. And I need that. And I need this. And all I can think about is like, since 2010, both you and I have made significant steps into the collection of sports jerseys. Yeah. I would say, personally, I'm probably spent over $2,000. On just stupid sports jerseys, and it's like, oh Jesus God! Like I think about that. I don't need any of this stuff. If the house burnt down, I'd totally be fine. I'm just like Steve Martin. It's like, oh, I am just like Steve Martin, because I was like, first thing I do is go try to grab my jersey. You got the baby? All right, I'm gonna go back in and get the jerseys, Delana. We'll be ready to go.
So let me ask you this then, since you brought it up. What's the most I should pay for a Michael Hoffpower jersey?
$68.
What?
How much would you pay?
I'm debating over 20.
Well, I'm thinking it's probably an official one if it's unique enough to be Michael Hoffpower. I mean, as far as like,
yeah, I don't know if the lettering is stitched.
Okay. He's a ginger. Yeah,
I'm probably just gonna do it. I don't want to.
I guess it would just depend. You know, I've seen some people. Yeah, it's this game of give and take I've been playing since the Chinese. I blame the Chinese for all of this. If you're not familiar, there's Chinese got Midwestern men all over America to be to be overspending, to take advantage of them with their jerseys.
$9 shipping and handling, though. Come on.
It's probably a standard, but I just wanted to bring that up. I'm like, I didn't talk about how Steve Martin. I'm like, if the house burnt down, I wouldn't care as long as I got my wife and my kid. I wouldn't care. I'm like, nah, I care about the jerseys.
All right, I got decisions to make later.
Okay, good. But you were buying all those stupid, unique Bears jerseys as well. Like,
yeah,
most obscure. Like, you want to be that fan who's just like, yeah, you got your Urlacher jersey.
I wore. Where did I? Oh, I got a Nomar jersey.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I wore that the other day, and it was a nice one. So here's the other thing: is there's this Sutcliffe one, but it will never fit me. But do I just need it to have it?
There's a website I can send you. I mean, it'd probably be more expensive, but if you really want one that fits, I could.
Okay. Well, I found a Vance Law one on a website. Anyway.
Okay.
I digress. Right. So anyway,
there's a Leon Durham one. I could get you. Anyway, we're moving forward.
My birthday's coming up.
I did go to the Cubs game with the people from for the group. It was a group hangout.
I saw that. Yes.
With the people from the IBMV podcast. And if you go to Blackhawks games, they've got like a hype video they show before the game on the Jumbotron, like just before like the players jump onto the field or jump onto the ice. And then they do a similar thing for the Cubs now, but they had Bill Murray like in the hype video, and he was talking about when his brother Brian Doyle Murray, he plays the dad in Scrooged, and he's the guy that judges the golf tournament in Caddyshack. But he talks about his first experience of his brother taking him to the first Cubs game ever. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty. I mean, Jumbotron. You know, I guess I'm for it. I don't know. We're moving on. We're talking about meatballs.
So, the guys, they're spying on the ladies. So then once again, you're thinking, oh, this is great. The girls are talking about romance novels. One of them quickly grabs the other one's bikini or panty-clad rear end. And I was like, okay, possibilities.
It looks like one of them is trying to bite the other one in the butt.
Yeah. It's Spaz and who's our other guy here?
Fat guy.
Finkel. Thank you, Michael. It's Spaz and Finkel. And Michael, do you have anything you want to talk about on this? I mean, I know you didn't like it.
It sucked.
Michael says the movie sucked. He watched it this evening as well. They're underneath the cabin. They're spying on the ladies. The ladies catch on because Finkel keeps talking about his boner. They ended up Finkel tries to escape. He gets stuck due to his girth of a human being.
Well, it kind of felt like it was a Winnie the Pooh situation where he ate too much in the hole, except Fink got a boner instead of ate too much in the hole.
Like sometimes I go home to let my dog out of the cage, and he won't come out. And I've now realized it's because he's got a boner, and he's embarrassed.
I'm sorry. I can't. Oh, I can't.
So anyway, the girls end up pantsing him. They put the pants on the flagpole, Angus style, which, you know, this is 25 years before Angus. But
so did you watch Salute Your Shorts at all?
Yeah, I did. I have a friend looked like Donkey Lips, remember?
He was all our friend. I was friends with him like in second grade.
I know. I'm not trying to take anything away from him.
Okay, but like he should go, like he goes to any convention. Like, hey, you going as Donkey Lips? I'm not cosplaying. I'm not cosplaying. No. Great Donkey Lips costume. You look great.
So, Salute Your Shorts.
Yes. Do you think that was a better? I'm not sure if you've revisited it at all. Do you think that would hold up better than this has?
Probably not. Salute Your Shorts was very 80s eccentric, if I remember right. Which it was supposed to be. It was made in the 80s. It wasn't supposed to last, you know?
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it would. I don't know. I don't think this movie, here's the thing is, I don't think it's that this movie doesn't hold up. I think the people, like you said earlier, were excited about Bill Murray. They were excited about this budding comedian turning into a movie star, and they just overlooked the tremendous flaws this movie has. Now, hold on. What's the other one? It's not Poison Ivy. What's the other one with Michael J. Fox?
Wasn't he up at that Midnight Mayhem or whatever, or Midnight whatever it is? Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's not the one. Oh, that's not the one.
Okay.
All right. You talk about this movie. I'm going to find it real quick. Casey's super fan. He I don't know what's happening.
Bright Lights, Big City. Is that what you're talking about, Glenn?
No, I'm not talking about Bright Lights, Big City.
I know.
He was in a camp, right?
You're making stuff up?
I know I'm not making shit up.
Okay.
Oh, got it. Casey, superfan, stumped me. It's I Hope We Never Part. Get it right or pay the price. That's Salute Your Shorts. That Casey superfan just gave us some Salute Your Shorts.
Okay, good.
What now? You brought up Salute Your Shorts, and now you're not excited that we're getting real time feedback.
Thank you so much, Casey. Thank you.
You're blowing it off because you're a dick.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Moving on.
You're such a. You know what? Thank you, Casey. Maybe you should co-host this show.
Maybe you should see what. Yeah, Glenn.
Wait a minute. Did I just fire myself? I meant that backfired. I was trying to get rid of you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Casey. I'm sorry that Michael is just so rude. You'll have a chance to talk to him about it though in a couple weeks, so that'll be fun.
But we see, I guess the next big scene is just Rudy. He's just kind of like hanging out in his dorm room or in his bunk early in the morning, and he sees Bill Murray running, and You find out later in Stripes, he's not really one for exercise, and you kind of feel like this is probably the only time Bill Murray has run ever in this movie.
Real-time update. Casey says F you.
All right, that's fine. F you or F you?
F you.
F you.
Michael.
Oh, no.
All right. So, yeah, all of a sudden he starts running. I don't know. He just wants to blend in, right? Poison Ivy. That's what I thought it was. But I didn't want to say that and people think Alyssa Milano. It was Michael J. Fox, Nancy McKean, Adam Baldwin. Yeah, it was a camp movie.
Okay.
We should do that one. Anyway, continue.
I'm sure it'd be tons better than this movie.
You never know.
Okay, you never know. You never know.
I'll find it though.
He's out there, he's searching, he's on his journey. He's out there running. And they're spending, you know what? He's decided that this is going to be his one friend. He gets this, Rudy, I'm going to decide that you're going to be my friend that I get this summer. All you need is one friend this summer.
This movie's horrible.
This movie's horrible.
All right.
I think if you had, I guess the major problems is like you needed a better supporting cast. You needed other characters you cared about other than Bill Murray to actually send this movie over the top and have people actually excited about it.
Okay. Here's the thing. This Bill Murray did not agree to do this movie. Like they offered it to him. They didn't know until he showed up the first day of filming if he was going to actually do it. So they can't say, "Oh, well, we just hope Bill Murray would carry it." They had no backup plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like this movie was going to get made with Bill Murray, or it was not going to be made at all, or they were going to have to find someone really quick.
So one of the good things about this movie, it had Ivan Reitman was the director, and with the success of this movie, he was able to make other movies in the 80s. And then with the success of this movie, other people that were involved with this movie, just like Harold Ramis, just because they had success with this movie, they were able to make other movies in the 80s that we do love. So, I mean, you have to think of the positive here, Clint.
Okay. That's the positive.
Yes.
Let's wrap up this movie and we can talk.
Okay. Real quick, I did want to talk about the basketball game.
We're getting to it.
I love his pep talks.
So, my next thing on here, basketball game versus Mohawks.
Yes.
So the Mohawks beat them. They play dirty, but they're a lot better physically. Bill Murray gives pep talks where he's basically like, why even try? I don't know. You guys are horrible.
Do you know anybody else who likes to give pep talks, Glenn?
You're a big pep talk guy. MH would like to point out that his costume, best part of that scene, and possibly the movie. I'm throwing them possibly the movie.
Okay.
So the Mohawks, yeah. Oh, anyway, back to you. So we play in this wiffle ball tournament every year. Well, we play in two, but the one we're on that we play against people who aren't our friends is in February, and you write 5 to 6 pep talks every year, and you give them to us. And now it's a tradition where the other teams who aren't like completely serious, like we aren't, they will come over and kind of listen to the pep talk. I think people will enjoy your pep talks.
I mean, if they love the pep talks, they love the pep talks. I mean, you can't really. You can't blame them. You can't blame them.
I guess you're great at the pep talks.
It seems like there's always like one other serious team, and then there's like two serious teams, the one that's good and the one that's real bad.
And we always beat the one that's bad.
Yeah.
So the Mohawks dominate. North Star just ends up pantsing the Mohawks and then walks away. That's the end of that. Bill Murray's going to take the counselors in training as part of their 5-year training program, apparently. He takes them for an overnight. Now you're thinking maybe things are going to heat up. Rudy's going to get PA duty, so maybe Rudy's going to make some friends at the camp while they're gone. No, they show 0 of the camp while they're gone. And basically there's some making out, some ukulele playing. Yeah, that's it, really. Some kissing. Bill Murray tells the same hook camp story that every other kid's always heard about. Tripper does some night swimming. I mean, at least when they were doing night swimming, at least I had the pleasure of thinking of the REM song "Night Swimming." That could have been my favorite part of the movie.
Okay.
There's some getting it in. Assumedly, they're getting it in. We don't know.
It's a lot. The logistics. I'm just going to throw it out there. Logistics of water sex isn't as easy as you'd think it would be.
There's a great how-to video of shower sex that I found a few months ago,
Okay.
and it basically talks about how it's impossible and dumb to have sex in the shower. First, physically, it doesn't work.
If there was like a way, like you could Velcro your foot onto like where you put the soap. I mean, not me, but anyway. If there was a better way to strap onto the actual linoleum or plastic the shower area, it would be. I think it would make more sense. Go ahead.
I remember being in my early 20s and thinking like, yeah, we're just gonna bang in every room in the house. We'll do it in the shower. But like, maybe I'm old. Call me old, man. I just wanna hit it on the bed and go to sleep. I don't know. Like, why are these people so ambitious?
Sometimes I'm fine with the living room and then just sleeping in the living room. I'm fine with that.
Now, does she sleep with you in the living room, or does she like come out to the living room, bang you, and then leave?
The latter.
Okay. Well, next time I'll be at your house in a week. Sit on your couch. Hey, gentlemen, you're going with me. Don't sit on Michael's couch when we're there in the living room.
There's a whatever. I mean, I assume everyone's couch has always been banged on.
You have children now. Your days of living room bang are like numbered. You got maybe 3 months max. Living room bang.
Oh, one other thing. He talked about when he was talking up Spaz. I think it was my birthday, 1999. You might have talked me up a little bit to another lady, and I woke up to this random girl on top of me. She was kind of a whore. I don't know if you remember who she was. We were in this theatrical group. She was one of your sidekicks. I don't know if you remember that.
What did her name start with a K?
She's no longer with us.
Wait a minute. Oh. Yeah, but I was dating. What happened?
No, it wasn't J.A. It was a different person.
No longer with us.
We'll talk about it off show, but I mean after the show.
Oh, it wasn't the girl who I was with.
No, it was the girl I think wanted to be with you, and you had like accessories to your character in the theater program.
Okay. We'll talk.
Okay. But it was. I'm like, well, thank you, but no, thank you, because I have a present down there, and it's for only certain people. One who I choose. But it was like, but I was flattered as thank you, but no, thank you. But it was nice to think that Glenn, he was talking me up for that.
I was trying to help you out, buddy. Just trying to help you out.
Happy birthday.
So out of nowhere, there's these Mohawk races, the Olympiad, that really hasn't been discussed at all, but we have to end the movie somehow. So they plays a Meatballs song. It's good to have your movie name in a song. We have they start to cheat. They use fish to win a swimming race. Wheels wrestles using a drop kick. Oh, but before this, Bill Murray, they lost the first day completely, and then Bill Murray gives the pep talk once again that nothing matters. They're still going to be rich and better than you, so who cares if you win? It's not going to change anything. And then they start to win. So yeah, Wheels uses a drop kick in a amateur wrestling match. Spaz has to stack. Spaz doesn't want to stack, but the Mohawks try to cheat, and that gets thwarted, and they win that. Fink beats the stomach in the hot dog eating contests. And now it's down to the 4-mile marathon, but their runner, she can't go. So this is presumably what Tripper's been grooming Rudy for all summer, making him run. Rudy the Rabbit. I don't know. Tripper gives him a bunch of advice. Didn't seem like that was followed at all, but he still won. He wins the 4-mile marathon. The camera work, in Jake's words, was dizzying.
Okay. It's good to see that Jake stayed with it this long. I'm kind of
He
surprised.
finished the whole thing.
Okay.
Rudy's going to come back next year. The counselors in training sit around a fire. Tripper's going to move in with his lady. Lots of cheesy music. The end.
Ta-da! I guess I really want to do this mostly because what's Mike saying? What's he saying?
Hold on. I'm trying to get feedback.
I can't hear.
He's asking, what'd you say? So Michael's MH's most favorite part was when they kept carrying. We didn't really talk about Morty, the camp leader, at all, but they would they would move his bed to different areas of the camp, sometimes on the road, at the end in the lake. They'd call him Mickey throughout the movie. So he had like a hat that said like, "My name is Morty" at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Michael's favorite part of the movie. My favorite part of the movie is when it ended. Carlson, what's your favorite part of the movie?
I guess like the pranks and stuff like that. Because my wife and I was a counselor for like 2 years. We didn't do like a full summer camp. It was just like a week, 10 days, kind of a camp situation. So me and my wife, we were both counselors. She talked me into being a counselor at her camp, and I think because it was kind of encouraged the pranks because they didn't want. Like I talked to the head counselor and I'm like, are we supposed to be doing pranks? And he's like, I'm like, so you go with the kids to do like small pranks. That way, like the mentality is you're encouraging them to do small pranks so they don't do big things and break shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody's with them while they're watching it, like they would take stink bombs. Like they were kind of like these bags. I don't know if you've seen them, but like when you get those ice packs and you break them, like those portable ice packs, and then you introduce the two chemicals together and all of a sudden it's an ice pack. They've got similar things for like stink bombs, and they would do that and put them underneath different people's cabins, and it would smell like shit, especially like 2 a.m. And I mean, it smells like shit, but nobody's really hurt. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or they'd put like jam, or they'd put like peanut butter on people's steps. So like when they come out of their cabin in the morning, all of a sudden they got to jump out of this over the step, or they got to figure out a way, or they tie people's doors shut so they have to go out their window, things like that.
So that's the end of this movie.
That's the end of this movie.
Real quick, also I want to thank a newer listener, Vicky H. Thank you so much. She's actually gifting you a couple laser discs, okay. Which either I or MF Jones, whoever is at our corporate office before we come see you, or we'll bring to you here in the coming next time we come see you in a week and a half. You and Casey will also be face to face in 13 days, so you guys seem to have some business you need to discuss.
Okay.
Also, real quick, there's a show that is in its second season, just started a couple weeks ago. Again, it's called Marriage. It's on the FX. This show is hilarious. I love it. I encourage everyone to watch it. I want it to keep going. It's got a lot of great actors and actresses, Jenny Slate being one of them, who I'm a fan of. Paul Reiser, still funny as hell in that show. Also,
he's a second, the not funny guy from My Two Dads.
He wasn't the artiste. Also, real quick, we don't we have like a PayPal or something?
Yeah, we the only person that really donates to us money is Doiner, and we do appreciate that.
Talk about it often. You can, if you'd like to donate to us just for doing this show every week, that'd be great. What's our PayPal address?
You can get to it at theawesome80s.com, and you can click on it, click on the links. But yeah, I mean, if you want to buy a T-shirt, you can support the podcast that way too, and that way you at least get a T-shirt too.
I think that this week and this week only, we should do support Lawrence buying this Michael Hoffpower jersey. So in your note, just say this money is for Lawrence buying the Michael Hoffpower jersey. $23, people, and it's mine. That includes the stupid $9 shipping and handling, which is bullshit.
Is it a size 48? What size is it?
52. So that's an extra large, extra. What is that?
I think it's 2X.
Good. That's what I wanted. Okay. And I tried to talk him down. I sent him a message like, would you go a few dollars lower? No.
It's a ginger jersey. It's for those people.
All right. So go to our PayPal and donate money to me buying that jersey. Just put a note in there, and Michael will steal it. Okay. Well, or buy a T-shirt, but I'm not getting the cash for that.
I wanted to talk about my major impetus for wanting to do this was because of the Wet Hot American Summer. Have you watched?
Oh yeah. So no, we have not had a lot of time since Friday, and I've been very busy. But no, I am planning on. I think I mentioned this on Friday. I've already seen the movie years ago, so now I'm going to start all over and watch the show all the way through the movie since the show is a prequel. So I hope to be doing that in the coming. MF Jones, same plan. Have you started? Yeah. Oh, how many episodes? He's got the first one down.
Okay. On the on Netflix, there is a behind the scenes episode as well. There's another like whole hour-long documentary about the 2001 movie. I guess I did want to mention it though. Our friend Paul, he's an extra in it. I thought maybe we should have tried it. We should have made the effort to try to get him to be on the show. Maybe Paul B.
Paul B. Really?
Yeah.
How did you find that out?
But my wife's, I guess she worked with him at the Hoblob together. So they were, He was my major motivation to do the. He did the men's of a Hoblob calendar for a Christmas gift one time, and I did the men of the Vanity Fair via Factory Outlet.
I remember that
calendar for Christmas.
So kind of threw off my. Oh yeah, so yeah, real quick, if you're not familiar with Wet Hot American Summer, 2001, the movie came out. It was directed and produced by the guys who made The State on MTV. I'm Doug, and I'm out of
here.
So they did a movie with a lot of actors and actresses who weren't very famous. You probably haven't heard of these people: Amy Poehler, Paul Rudd, Bradley Cooper. I know there's more.
But David Wayne, the out of the three people, there's like, because there's Mike Showalter, Michael Ian Black, and then David Wayne. They're like the main three guys.
David Wayne did a great Nerdist episode last week.
And then he also directed Role Models, also with Paul Rudd in it. And Role Models, it's like out of like the last 10 years, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. It's like the best 80s movie not made in the 80s. I think it's pretty awesome. And like the last 10 years.
Yeah. So they made this movie with zero money, and it made no money, but it kind of became a cult favorite. They've always talked about doing a sequel. They ended up, Netflix hired them to do the prequel, or to write a movie as a follow-up. They decided to do a prequel, but then when they started writing it, they had 4 hours worth of material. So they were like, well, screw it, let's just do a series. Netflix is like, yeah, do whatever you want. They managed to get all of the original, now very famous movie stars back to do this show, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Said I'll hopefully start watching that maybe this weekend if time permits. These last few weeks of August, very busy. Very busy.
It's busy time. I could totally see them doing another series after this. I think they got a lot left in the tank after this.
Oh, absolutely. As far as from a programming standpoint, this is our last episode for possibly almost 2 weeks, if not 2 weeks. So we apologize about that, but you're going on vacation again. I got a lot of stuff coming up. But
also on the 23rd, I did get an invite to be part of the Old School Wrestling podcast.
Yes, I am also part of that. But we will see each other a couple times that very weekend. So maybe we'll have time to do a live one on our face-to-face podcast if time permits. Otherwise, we'll be back the following week after that. So keep listening, keep enjoying, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, share our information. Help support us because we support you. I stole that from somebody.
I think, Glenn, I'm going to say it on the air. I don't care. We should try to get only Awesome 80s fans to call in to the radio station while we're on the radio talking on the Old School Wrestling podcast.
Oh, my God. That's awesome. Okay. Well, I already know we got Casey hooked.
Okay, good.
We'll be seeing him that night. So,
okay.
If you want to be a part of this, if you listen to the Old School Wrestling podcast and you want to occupy them on behalf of the Awesome 80s, because they're doing a live radio show that you and I will both be a part of in 2 weeks. I know they don't listen to this show, so they'll never know. If you want to help us with this, reach out to us at hosts@awesome80s.com. You need to be available approximately 2 to 3 p.m. Central Time on the
23rd.
Which is a Sunday. If you can be available to call in that afternoon, reach out to us and we'll give you some ideas of what we want you to do, because we definitely want to occupy that show on our behalf. We don't want to tank it. Like, we don't want to be dicks about it. But we just want to make our presence known. Like, we don't want to ruin their show because they're awesome and they work so hard. It'd just be nice if we had a couple of our fans kind of call in and give us a little rub.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody. And you can buy our shirts if you want. Stay awesome, everybody.
You can buy me a Michael Hoffpower t-shirt if you want, or jersey if you want. All right, yeah. Stay awesome. Thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.